I nervously adjusted the hem of the maid's uniform. I could feel the tightness of the bra on my chest and tights on my legs as I stood outside my mother's bedroom door. Is this such a good idea? I thought. How did I get here? It had seemed like a good laugh. Mom would often jokingly ask if the maid was free to bring her breakfast on a Saturday morning, and I would reply that she'd been given the day off. It was just one of those things you say without thinking. To describe our weekends, Dad would often be up and away early to go fishing with his pals. I went sometimes, but it's not really my thing. He works in a garage and needs to get out into the fresh air. Mom has a high-powered job in the city and prefers to relax on Saturday mornings. Me? I'm Jerry. I've just finished 6th form and am awaiting my exam results. I have a part-time job as a delivery driver. Normally my weekends are free. Sunday we always try to spend together, walking, cycling or days out, etc. I had made several deliveries to a fancy dress wholesaler and they had a rail of costumes marked reject in the office I delivered to. Right at the front was a maid's outfit, and seeing it reminded me of Mom's Saturday joke. What's happening to these costumes? I asked Mary, the lady who signed for my deliveries. Oh, they've all got minor faults and we can't sell them. The staff here have the chance to take them home or they'll get skipped. If you want anything, just ask me and I'll sign it out. Then she smiled at me. Why, is there anything you fancy? I'm sure you'd look lovely in the maid's dress or maybe the princess outfit. You've read my mind, I jokingly replied. I may take you up on the offer. Like I said, just ask. See you next week. This was a regular drop-off, so I knew I would be back. I agonized about whether to go for it. My natural shyness made me worry about what people would think. Eventually, I thought, who's going to know? Famous last words. Next time Mary signed off my deliveries, then smiled and pointed to the rail. Made your mind up then, love? Well. You okay, Jerry? She'd noticed my hesitation. I'm okay, I don't want you to think I'm silly. Jerry! We, at this company, buy and sell fancy dress and joke shop items. Who's silly? Sorry, I'm just a bit nervous, that's all. You're not the first and won't be the last to be nervous. Now, what can we get for you? I'd like to take the maid's dress if that's okay. I'm going to a fancy dress party next weekend. Do you think it will fit, and what is the fault with it? Let's have a look. The faults are usually on the label. There's more than one dress there, so I'm sure we can find a fit. Thanks, Mary, you're very kind. Not at all. You are a very polite and friendly lad. It's been a pleasure to have you doing the deliveries. Looking at you, I think you are about a size 12, so that first dress is too small. I think this one further back is right for you. She selected the dress and looked at the fault label. As I thought, we've had a lot of this. There is a flaw in the cloth on the back. We couldn't sell it, but there is no real problem. The dress came with an apron sewn on, a small lace-trimmed hat and a full net underskirt was sewn in lifting the skirt. Mary held it up to Jerry. I'm sure that will be perfect. Would you like to try it on? Try it on. That wasn't in his plan at all. Oh, Jerry, don't look so shocked. It would be a shame if you had to bring it back. Nip into the storeroom with me and slip your shirt off. You can try it over your jeans. Okay, sorry, I'm a big wimp, eh? Nothing to be ashamed of. Mary removed the cover and unpinned the accessories. She then unzipped the dress and motioned Jerry to step in. He slipped his arms into the dress and then she zipped him in. Mary stepped back and checked him out. That's pretty good. Not tight, and the length is good just above the knee. You've nothing to fill the chest region, so I think you need a bra and padding, but then it will be fine. Jerry was very embarrassed, particularly as Mary was so matter-of-fact about his dress. She made sure he could reach the zipper so he could get undressed, then packed the dress away again. I presume you don't have your own suitable underwear. Sorry, only kidding. I'll put a packet of fishnets in, but they're not very good quality. You really should finish it off with some black tights, or stockings if you are brave, and a bra to fill out the chest. Try Man's or see if your mom or sister have some. We'll check that, thanks. Thanks for your help. No problem, have fun. Bring me a photo. I'll do that. So now he had the dress, could he get the rest of the things? Shoes? Where do you get shoes? There was more to this than he thought. He managed to go back to his depot via home so he could hide away the dress before anyone else got home. This was Tuesday, he wanted to be ready for Saturday morning, only 3 days to get ready. He knew that his mother and father were out the following night, so that would have to be his opportunity. He couldn't face buying the underwear in a shop. Jerry's sister Angela was 2 years older and had been at college but had now taken a gap vacation, so she wasn't going to be at home for a year. She had kept a bedroom at home and still had most of her belongings there. The room was rarely disturbed apart from when their mother dusted occasionally. Jerry was confident that he could find what he needed here, as Angela was keen on fashion and loved clothes. He found a black bra and matching panties quite quickly. A further rummage found some black tights, but when he tried her shoes he hit a problem. Angela was 2 sizes smaller than him and there was no way he could get her shoes on. He thought he was going to have to go barefoot until he spotted a pair of black ballet slippers at the back of her wardrobe. They were soft enough to stretch over his feet. He wasn't going outside, definitely not, so they would do nicely. He took the items back to his room and decided to see what it looked like. The bra fitted with a bit of adjustment, although it took him a lot of trial and error to manage to hook up the catches. He had decided to use panties as he thought tights would not fit well over Y-fronts. How true, tucking Mr. Happy back gave a smooth front. Unfortunately, when he put the tights on they showed up his hairy legs and didn't look good at all. A flash of inspiration made him think of the fishnets. I wonder what they would look like over the black tights, he thought. Result. That looked okay, although the tights felt very strange and the texture of the fishnets was very unfamiliar, as was the feeling of air moving around his legs. The dress was next. He stepped in and slid his arms into the sleeves. The zipper was easy to reach and there was a degree to stretch in the fabric that allowed him to take it up to the neck without too much difficulty. A looseness in the chest area reminded him that he had forgotten to pad out the bra. A few moments later a pair of sports socks provided faux breasts and the dress fitted a lot better. It was strange to look down and see your chest padded out, but the dress was comfortable. The feeling was unusual and vulnerable, but okay. He sat down and put on the slippers. Again, unusual feelings. The tights, particularly the fishnets, felt odd, but this soon passed. Picking up the hat he went to his sister's room where she had a full-length mirror. Again, unfamiliar feelings as he walked along, air moving where it normally doesn't, the underskirt of the dress rubbing against his lycra-clad thighs and the tightness of the bra under his dress. The hat was a lacy creation attached to an Alice band, so first he used the dressing table mirror to brush his shoulder-length hair back and then slid the band on. Now for the moment of truth. There was a young girl looking back at him in the mirror. She wasn't pretty but not that bad either. As he improved his posture she looked better. Good legs. Holding his shoulders back and linking his hands behind his back improved matters further. He started wondering what effect a pair of heels would make. Stop it, it's only for a joke, he thought, smiling at his creation. Yes, heels, makeup, nail polish etc. would be better, but this wasn't bad and would be quite enough to surprise his mum this weekend. Just a few days to go. Once he caught himself looking at the hair on his legs and wondering whether to remove it. Get a grip, he thought, you're taking this too seriously. Saturday came and he started to put his plan into operation. His father, as expected, had left early and he started to get ready after he had his morning wash. It was 8 o'clock a.m., Mum was still asleep, her radio alarm had not yet gone off. that was normally at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. He decided to put on the undergarments straight away to save time and cover them with a dressing gown so he could get his own breakfast and prepare his mother's. He managed to dress fairly easily. The bra clasp was difficult again, but with a bit of trial and effort he made it. He combed his hair back and put it into a ponytail held with a rubber band. He then took the dress on its hanger and went quietly downstairs. It's funny how you forget what you are wearing when it's comfortable. He was part way through his cereal when the doorbell rang, and he was halfway down the hall before he realized what he was doing. There was a figure carrying a parcel. The front door was obscure glass, and as Jerry entered the hall, the visitor appeared to notice there was someone there. Jerry saw the red of the Royal Mail van parked on the road and made a snap decision. If he now didn't answer the door, the postman would ring again, his mother would be disturbed, and his surprise would be spoiled. He had to answer the door. There had been no noises from upstairs, so he opened the door as quietly as possible, hiding as much of himself as possible behind it. Parcel delivery. The postman handed over the box. Sign here, please. Jerry squeaked a thank you, took the box and placed it on the hall table, then took the proffered clipboard and pen and made his mark, handing it back to the postie. The postman smiled. Thanks, miss. See you again. Jerry blushed and just managed to say, bye. It was a throwaway comment, and Jerry didn't take it on board until the front door closed. It was then that he saw his reflection in the hall mirror. Despite the dressing gown, the giveaways were the black tights on his legs, the bulges on his chest from the padded bra, and the way his hair was combed and tied back. Yes, he did look girlish. Fortunately, the postman didn't suspect anything, so no harm done. He listened carefully for any sign of life upstairs, heard nothing, and resolved to go back and finish his breakfast. He needed a strong coffee. The radio alarm came on in his mother's bedroom, and he could hear her moving about. He knew she would sit up and read while listening to the radio for a while before she got up. She called out, "Hey son, has that lazy maid got my breakfast ready?" "Don't know, Mom, I'll check if she's in," was my reply. Mom's favorite breakfast was toasted cheese muffins with poached eggs, easy to prepare, along with a cafetiere of her preferred Colombian blend. After everything was ready and placed on a tray, he slipped off the dressing gown and stepped into the dress. He now had the technique to pull up the zip, and with the Alice band in his hair and a bit of adjustment in front of the mirror, he was ready. This was the moment. The moment when it's not just an idea but reality kicks in. He nearly bottled it, but then thought, I've come this far, let's go for it. He was grateful to be wearing the flat shoes as he made his way up the stairs. Holding a tray and having to get used to the unfamiliar mounds on his chest meant he found seeing his feet and keeping his balance more difficult than usual. A couple of quick knocks on the door, and then, "Your breakfast is ready, ma'am." "Oh, how lovely. Please come in, I'm decent." No doubt she expected to see her son with her breakfast. Carefully holding the tray one-handed, he opened the door. Mother was concentrating on her magazine and only looked up as he got to the bed. "Oh. Oh my. Oh, how lovely. Jerry? Oh, I can't call you Jerry, can I? Oh, what a surprise." Jerry smiled at his mother, placed the tray on the bedside table, and took the magazine to one side. He then put the tray in her lap and stepped back with a little curtsy. "Surprise. You like?" he inquired. "Oh yes, now what can I call you, my lovely maid?" "I know, you would have been called Emma if you'd been a girl, so Emma it shall be." "Well, let's look at you, Emma, give me a twirl." He spun slowly around and the dress rose, showing off the underskirts. "Oh, how precious. You have gone to some trouble, haven't you?" "Thank you, ma'am. Will that be all?" He smiled at his mother, pleased that the joke had made her happy. "What were you planning to do next?" The question threw him a bit. He hadn't got a plan. "I was just going to get changed back. Will you indulge me and stay as you are? We could have a bit of fun if you don't mind." I haven't had a maid before and I've been missing having a daughter for a while as well. This wasn't what he had expected, but hey, Mum was happy, where's the harm? He decided to keep up the act. Certainly, ma'am, what would you like me to do? Thank you, Emma. First, leave me to finish this breakfast that looks absolutely lovely and let me get dressed. If you would check the clothes washer and get a new load, and I would appreciate that. I will call you when I need you. Thank you, ma'am. He smiled and gave another little curtsy and turned to leave. Laundry had always been a task he had helped with, so it was an easy task for Emma. Also, the utility room was at the back of the house, so he wouldn't feel exposed. It was about 30 minutes later when his mother called for Emma. He went up to her room and knocked on the door. Come in, dear. He opened the door to find his mother dressed and standing by her dressing table. He went to tidy away the breakfast tray, but his mother said, "Leave that for now, please come and sit here. Would you mind if I just enhance your look a little?" What do you mean, ma'am? Just a little makeup and hairstyling, nothing permanent, don't worry. Is that okay? I don't want to look silly, I was just playing a joke on you. Nothing to worry about, if you don't like it just say stop and that's it. I do appreciate the thought that has gone into your surprise, and I think you are very brave. If you'll let me just add a few touches, then I can have a maid for the morning. You can help me around the house if that's okay? Then I'll take you out this afternoon for a treat. Not dressed like this. No, of course not. Well, not unless you want to. A step too far for now, thanks. For now? Why did I say that? Okay, do your worst, but first, would you take a photo? I promised Mary at the suppliers I would get one. Of course, I'll get the DG, and I'll take another afterwards. After the photos, his mother insisted on taking more than one, posed sitting and standing. She started on his hair and makeup. She removed the Alice band and combed his hair more thoroughly than he ever had before. Using curling tongs, she created a full and wavy style. She then replaced the band as much to hold his hair away from his face while she started on the makeup. I don't plan to do much, but just enhance if that's okay? You know, I've never worn makeup apart from a school play years ago, so it's a new experience for me. I don't want to look silly though. I've no intention of overdoing it. Let me just try a little light definition and see what effect it has. Okay, love you, Mom. Love you, son. Or should I say daughter? Funny. She applied a light cream foundation over his face. He had shaved earlier and there was no beard to cover. Then mascara on his lashes, lucky boy, she thought, so full and long, a light kohl pencil to define his eyes, and just a hint of color on his eyelids. Finally, a light pink lipstick after she had outlined his lips, sealed with a gloss. She was tempted to go for nail polish, but decided not to push him too far. Maybe there would be a next time? To finish, she clipped a pair of earrings on his lobes and draped a simple necklace around his neck. Okay, what do you think? She turned him to face the mirror. He had kept his eyes closed while his mother was working, and as he opened them they felt heavy and a bit sticky from the unfamiliar makeup. The girl that faced him wasn't particularly a beauty but was passably pretty, and he didn't immediately recognize himself. Only when he fluttered his eyelashes did he connect, but it was clearly a girl, not a boy, looking back. Wow, what did you do? Look. You look very nice. I expected to look like a drag queen, but that's very subtle, Mom. Thank you. Now a few pictures for me if you don't mind? Fine, just don't go sending them around. Of course not, but don't worry, no one would recognize you. First though, to complete the look, try these shoes. My feet are bigger than your sister's and these are big on me. I presume that's why you are wearing the slippers. She handed him a pair of court shoes with 2-inch heels. They're a little tight, but I can manage. Great, That's a nice finishing touch. Now try standing and then remember to take smaller steps. Fortunately, the heel was quite low, and after a few moments he mastered the balance shift required. There's a lot more to this than I thought. Female clothes and body shape enforce a different way of moving. I'd never thought about it before. We suffer, dear, we suffer for our men. Mom smiled. Another set of photos were taken in various poses. Jerry was relaxed in his new form and played to the camera. Okay, Missy, back to Mistress and Maid. I need to get on with the housework, then we'll have a break and see what to do then. Thank you, ma'am. Unless you have another task, I have a wash-in already. I will check if it is ready for drying. Good girl, Emma. I will follow you down. Their house was a 4-bed detached with an extension right across the rear of the property that had a sunroom/conservatory along with the kitchen and utility room. The garden was reasonably large and well stocked with trees, so there was no danger of being overlooked. Because of this, Jerry was comfortable to deal with the laundry and start the ironing in the sunroom. His mother came down after about 20 minutes. Emma, I'll deal with the post first. Please bring me a coffee at 10:30. I may have further tasks for you then. Yes, ma'am, she's really getting into this, thought Jerry. Still, so am I. These clothes are really very comfortable and so much lighter than my usual clobber. He kept being reminded what he was wearing when a draft played on his hose-covered legs or he saw his reflection in the glass of one of the kitchen appliances. His mother noticed as she passed through how he was admiring his appearance. That confirmed her idea to take things a little further. 10:30 came and Jerry had brewed a fresh cafetiere which he placed on a tray with biscuits and took through to the door of his mother's office. Although he was getting better, it was still an effort to balance in the unfamiliar footwear and hold the tray in one hand while knocking on the door. Your coffee, ma'am. Enter. Jerry went in and placed the tray by the table. You may wait here, Emma. Yes, ma'am. Would you like me to pour your drink? Thank you, Emma. This followed a bit of gentle teasing as Mother enjoyed her coffee and biscuits and ignored her maid, who was left to stand to attention beside her. Jerry didn't know what to do, so decided to wait for instruction. She kept him like that for 5 minutes. Eventually, Mom looked at him and smiled. I'm sorry, love, I couldn't resist playing with the mistress/maid role for a moment. I'm done here. Get yourself a cup and we'll take the tray to the sun lounge. It's Mom and Emma for now, okay? Okay, thanks, Mom. I didn't know what to do there. You are a rascal. Careful, I may need to discipline my maid if I get back chat like that. She smiled. Oh. Shall I bend over your knee? Enough already, get your cup, was followed by a playful slap on the behind. Jerry took the tray and scuttled off to the kitchen. He was happy. He hadn't connected with his mother so well in ages. After they sat down in the sunroom, his mother asked, Well, how do you feel? Feel about what? The clothes, the makeup, etc. Strange, often I didn't notice, then the restriction or the freedom of the clothing became apparent. I forgot about the makeup until I brushed my eye or tasted the lipstick. But are you uncomfortable? No. Is that wrong? No. I just wanted to check. I don't want you to do anything you're not happy with. No, it's all right. I'm okay, it's fun in a way. Good. Would you mind continuing to be my plaything this morning? Plaything? Okay, what have you in mind? I'd like to try you in something different if that's okay. Girls' clothes? Yes. Are you all right with that? Why not? You've got the makeup on me already. I'll treat it as a learning experience. Thank you. I think you've already learned a lot about what we women go through. I just wanted to try a conventional look. The maid outfit is fun but is just fantasy wear. I have a look in mind, using some of your sister's clothes. Shall we begin? Jerry followed his mother up the stairs to her room. He smiled as he saw she had already laid out the outfit on her bed. Plan ahead, that's my mom, he thought. On the bed was a dark blue, knee-length knitted dress. It had full sleeves and a high neck with a zipper at the rear. In a way, a long jumper, thought Jerry. Alongside it was a matching length silky slip again in dark blue. The slip will help the dress to hang better and stop it riding up. If you take off the maid outfit, I think the underwear you have on will be just right. Here, slip the shoes off and I'll help you out of this dress. Air? Okay, whatever you say. Now don't be shy, I have seen everything before, you know. But not recently. And I don't think you've seen me in a bra and panties before. True. But don't panic. Now let's see what we've got to work with. Mom unzipped the maid dress, helped Jerry to step out and then hung it up. Very nice choice, but I think we can improve the shaping up top. Give me a moment. Standing in your parents' bedroom dressed in a bra, panties and tights with your mother fussing over your appearance is not what Jerry had expected to happen today. His mother returned with some cotton wadding. This will fill the cups better, and you need a little adjustment. She removed his socks and filled the cups with the wadding, then she lengthened the shoulder straps, letting the bra sit a bit lower. The result was more lifelike, smoother, and was much more comfortable to wear. The tights are fine, they cover your hairy legs. Maybe we can do something about that next time. Next time? Only kidding. Now hands up. She put the silky slip over his head and he shivered as it glid down his body. Mom adjusted it around his faux breasts and the feeling was marvelous. He saw in the mirror what he could feel, that the slip hugged his body and smoothed out his figure. Now doesn't that feel nice? I'm ashamed to say it does, Mom. Ashamed? Why? Mother. I'm a boy, boys don't wear dresses, and if they do they shouldn't enjoy it. Fuss and nonsense. I'm not trying to change you permanently, just having a bit of fun. Do you want to stop? He thought for a moment. No, I don't want to stop. Is that wrong? No, Jerry, this is just you and me having a bit of fun. Consider it educational. Now you'll know more about what your girlfriends go through, and that'll make you an even better man than you already are. Okay? I'm all right with that. Good, now let's get the dress on. Also, I will refer to you as Emma from now on until you change back. It will complete the illusion. The dress went on like a jumper. Mom held the neck away from his face to avoid spoiling his makeup and then smoothed it out and zipped up the neck. This was another new sensation. The weight of the dress, the way it moved against the slip and the way it hugged his body made him feel vulnerable and comfortable at the same time. It was very different from the lightweight fluff of the maid costume. I thought my boots would look right with that. Mom offered a pair of calf-length black boots. He tried, but there was no way his feet would fit in comfortably. Oh well, back to the court shoes. You are comfortable in them, aren't you? Yes, I was surprised. I thought it would be more difficult. The stairs aren't easy in these. He pointed to his breasts. Get in the way. Mom laughed. Yes, it takes practice to accommodate the constraints, and of course your boobs have grown in one day, so it must be quite a shock. Fortunately, those shoes do have a lowish heel. It takes more time to get used to the higher ones. Comfortable? Yes, in a strange way. Good, we'll finish some more housework and then have lunch. I have to go out this afternoon to get some shopping. As I said, you're welcome to come. How you are dressed is up to you. I may pass on the shopping, thanks, wearing a dress or not. He'd never been keen traipsing around the shops, and Mum could shop for England. Can I just have another photo for my collection? I don't see why not, just don't go sending them around. As if. Mom smiled. They went downstairs and began to finish the tasks they started earlier. All was going well until suddenly, as Jerry treated washing at the utility draining board, there was a young man smiling and waving in through the window. He was too shocked to respond before the window cleaner started his work, and he was hidden by the soapy suds. There were 3 of them in total, working quickly on the patio doors and upstairs as well. Jerry felt terribly exposed but reasoned that they wouldn't take much notice as long as he smiled back confidently and didn't act surprised. It seemed to work. He knew he'd seen himself in the mirror and there were no clues to his true gender. Thankfully he wasn't wearing the maid dress that would have been embarrassing. Mom had been receiving calls all morning and had just picked one up on the cordless handset when there was a knock at the back door. Mom held her hand over the phone. "The cleaners want paying. Please be a love and get the cash out of my bag. It's £8 we owe. I missed them last time." Jerry found his mother's bag and her purse. There wasn't enough change, so he took a £10 note from her wallet. He took the note to his mother, who waved him away. When he obviously didn't know what to do, she covered the phone again and said, "I'm sorry to impose on you, love, but I've got to take this call. Just pay them and take the change, you'll be fine." Jerry was frozen to the spot. He didn't want to do it. He knew he could. He was a convincing girl, but it was just too frightening. There was another knock at the back door. Still he couldn't move. Mother waved encouragingly at him, and finally he got all his courage together and opened the door. He looked out just in time to see the side gate close. They had gone. Relief, which turned to panic again as the front doorbell rang. Mom held the phone again. "They don't like to be owed more than 1 week and they know we're here. Please, love, go and pay them, it'll be over quickly." Jerry smiled weakly and set off down the hall, note in hand. There was a figure at the front door, so he opened it partway, expecting to quickly hand over the cash and get change. Except it wasn't the window cleaner. There stood a lady he didn't recognize, probably around about his mother's age. The window cleaners were behind her retrieving their ladders. "Oh," exclaimed Jerry, "I'm sorry, I was expecting to pay the cleaners." "That's all right, dear. Is Mrs. Hart in?" "I'm Rosemary Jones from Floral Society. I told her I would call if I was passing." Jerry's manners kicked in automatically despite his fright. "She's on the phone at the moment. Please step inside and I will let her know you're here. If you will excuse me, I will just pay these gentlemen." "Thank you, dear. And you are?" Very quick thinking was called for. "Oh, I'm Emma, Mary's niece. Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Jones." "Please come in." "Call me Rosemary, please, dear. I'll just wait here for you." Jerry paid the cleaners, just managing to smile and say thanks when he got his change. He noticed the lads checking him out just like he would have done to a pretty girl. "A point to note for my education," he thought. They were really obvious looking at the apparent girl's legs and of course her chest. "Please come through, Rosemary." He led her to the sun lounge, which was fortunately clear of washing now. "Please take a seat. I'll let Aunt Mary know you're here. Would you like a drink? Tea or coffee?" "Oh, a tea would be lovely, dear, thank you." Jerry went into the kitchen, put the kettle on, and then found his mother in her office. He wrote a note for her clarifying the situation, and her eyes went wide. She made her own note under his "So sorry, son, I forgot she might call. Thank you so much. I'll be finished in a moment and get rid of her ASAP." Another one. "I'm glad didn't catch me in the maid outfit," thought Jerry as he prepared another tray of drinks and biscuits. As he went back into the lounge with the tray, his mother had finished her call and followed him in. "Rosemary. How nice to see you." Jerry's mother and Rosemary embraced. "I must apologize for the length of time I've been on the phone, an urgent work call, I'm afraid." "I see you've met Emma. I hope she's been looking after you." "Mary, your niece has been a perfect hostess and has kindly made us all a drink. She does her family credit. What an attractive young lady." Jerry blushed as he served the drinks. He tried to remember how a girl/woman would stand, bending the knees not the waist, delicate movements. If you'll excuse me, I just need to finish something in the utility. I'll be back in a few moments. Phew! That would give him a chance to get his breath back and maybe time for Mum to get Rosemary on her way. When he managed to stand still in private and consider what had happened, he shook with nerves. He'd been seen dressed as a girl by 3 young men, anybody passing in the street, and in close proximity by his mother's friend. No one had looked at him strangely or suggested they had guessed his secret. That was pleasing, but this day was well out of control. He'd only meant to tease his mother. He finished the clothes he was pre-washing and got them into the machine, the previous wash into the dryer, and dried clothes folded ready for ironing. He'd been 10 minutes and thought he'd better show his face again. When he went back into the lounge, there were papers and brochures all over the table. "Hello, Emma, your aunt and I are planning the flower display at Mountford Hall. I hope you don't mind the intrusion." "Yes, Emma, come and look, but get yourself a cuppa first. We'll be another 10 minutes or so." His mother mouthed sorry to him. "Thanks, Auntie. I didn't know you were interested in flower arranging." "I wasn't, but I've just joined the society through a friend at work. I needed something completely different to relax my mind." "Good idea, Auntie. You work far too hard." Jerry wasn't joking. His mother often worked into the night or was disturbed at weekends. Jerry sat down, remembering to smooth his skirt and keep his knees together, and picked up his mother's Cosmopolitan. His mother and Rosemary talked for a lot longer than 10 minutes. Eventually Rosemary said, "Mary, why don't we go and visit the hall now? That will give us an idea of the space we have available." "Well, I'm sure that would be useful, but Emma and I were planning to go to Mountford Shopping Mall this afternoon. She needs some new clothes." Jerry's mum was trying to put her off. It didn't work. In fact, it made things worse. "Oh, how lovely. That's not a problem, as that was my plan too. How about we all have lunch at the hall, my treat?" "It's on the way." Rosemary was delighted. Jerry's mum looked defeated. Jerry rolled his eyes up and nodded. "Could things get worse?" "Possibly." "All right, that's settled. Thank you, Rosemary, but we will need to take our own cars as we have other things to do later. Emma, your Uncle Steve rang earlier. He won't be back until Sunday night, so I have arranged to go to the theater tonight." "Is that a ruse or real? And how would I be dressed?" Jerry was not sure. "Emma, your handbag is in your room. I don't think we need coats. Rosemary and I will just clear up here." "Okay, Auntie." Suspicious, he went to his room, and sure enough, there was a handbag filled with useful things, including a purse full of money and the makeup he was wearing. He checked that he looked okay in the mirror. The gloss had kept his lips intact, so he gave them another coat of gloss just in case and ran a brush through his hair. As he went back downstairs, his mother and Rosemary were waiting. "My car is in the garage, so we'll follow you, Rosemary. Are we locked up at the back, Emma?" "I'll just check." When he returned, Rosemary had gone to her car. "Oh, my darling, I didn't plan all of this. What must you be thinking?" "Well, I was a little suspicious of the clothes and handbag being ready." "Guilty. I was going to try to get you out, but only you and me, not Rosemary." "Right then, are you okay to do this?" "Well, I can't keep borrowing my sister's clothes, and you can get me some boots or shoes that fit properly." His mother looked surprised. Jerry smiled at her confusion. "Joke. Come on, let's go. Remember, young ladies first sit in, then swing their legs in to a car, with their knees tight together, of course." "Of course they do. Fortunately, we can get into the car in the garage, so you don't need to go out in the street." Thanks be for electric garage doors, he thought. The journey was uneventful apart from the obvious attentions of a few van drivers, the car's aircon blowing on his legs and the pressure of the seatbelt across his more ample chest. Mountford Hall was about 30 minutes' drive away and had a long drive through a country park. The local council had inherited it from a wealthy landowner in his will, and now it was a recreation area and exhibition center. They parked alongside Rosemary and followed her towards the administration office. They noticed the cafe had tables free, so Jerry and his mother grabbed one while Rosemary let the office know they would need the keys to the display room later. "How are you, love?" "It's strange, it seems to get easier as time goes on. The clothes are comfortable, but every now and then I notice things, like the bra for instance, that aren't normal. Do keep an eye on me in case I get too relaxed and let my guard down." "I'll do my best. Now remember small portions and ladle-like eating habits." Rosemary returned. "They'll be ready for us when we've finished our lunch." "Let's order." 3 light salads and a pot of tea later, they were ready. The older women led the way to the office. There were 2 women there, one of similar age to his mother and a younger girl. Jerry estimated her to be late teens or early 20s. The young girl was very beautiful, slim figure, long blonde hair and very smartly dressed. They made their introductions. The older lady was Sarah and the younger one Yvonne. Sarah spoke first. "Emma, I think we will be about half an hour and I'm sure you will be terribly bored. Why don't you stay with Yvonne? She'll be much better company than us oldies." "Well, I don't think," replied Jerry, but he was interrupted by Yvonne. "Oh, please stay," said Yvonne. "I need some lively company after being with the fossils all day." She smiled at Sarah. "The youth of today," Sarah replied, smiling, no respect for their elders and betters. Rosemary and Jerry's mother looked surprised. "Don't worry, this delightful young lady is my niece. You should hear us when we don't get on." Sarah smiled at Yvonne. "Come on, ladies, let's get on." So, Jerry was left with the delightful Yvonne. Normally that would not have been a trial, but he really did not know what to do. Fortunately, her phone rang and she motioned Jerry to sit down at Sarah's desk. Then Sarah's phone rang and Yvonne interrupted her call to ask Emma to answer it and take a message. A series of calls followed and the girls were kept busy for their first 5 minutes together. This gave Jerry time to observe Yvonne, and the more he did, the more he became attracted to her. "Thanks for your help, Emma. I hate having to let phones ring out. Now more about you. Are you local?" "No, I live in London. I'm visiting my aunt this week. Just finished my A's and waiting for the results." "Cool, I'm the same. Are you staying long?" "It's nice to have someone the same age to chat to. I seem to spend a lot of time with my mom and aunt at the moment. I go to boarding school and haven't any friends locally. Dad's very hard on me about seeing boys at the moment. Must study, think of your future, no distractions, on and on." "That's a shame. Unfortunately, I'm back home tomorrow." Jerry didn't want to get too involved but thought he'd keep the conversation going. "My dad's the same, no relationships, yada yada." Yvonne smiled. "So much the same. I feel we're soulmates already." "What are you doing today?" "Shopping after this, then the theater tonight." "Shopping good, theater? You sure?" "Auntie's choice." "How about coming to my house instead? We can have a girly night in." "I'm not sure. I think Aunt Mary is keen to go." "Oh, she can go with my mum. She'd love it. Dad's away at the moment." "We'll see what they say when they come back." "But No arguments. Surely you'd prefer to be with me." Yvonne smiled conspiratorially. "Oh yes," Jerry exclaimed a bit too readily, his true emotions causing him to forget the situation for a moment. "That's settled then. Oh my, what have I got into now? I'll have to try and cancel later." They settled into chatting, interrupted by the occasional call. Soon after, Jerry's mum and the other ladies returned. Yvonne's aunt spoke first. "You girls getting on okay?" They both smiled and Yvonne replied, "Yes, Auntie, we were just plotting." Well, let me say, when I heard what Mary had planned for tonight, I suggested that as an alternative that I, and possibly your mother Yvonne, would go to the theater and you two would probably prefer to spend the night together. Oh, Auntie, that's exactly what I suggested. Yvonne was clearly delighted. Jerry looked pleading at his mom. She gave a pained expression and shrugged her shoulders. Well, that's settled then. Mary will bring Emma to your house tonight, Yvonne, and we'll leave from there. I'm certain your mom would love to go. Rosemary chipped in. I'd have loved to come too, but unfortunately I'm already committed to a meal at my neighbor's. We'd better get off and leave you to your work. Thanks again, Sarah, and you, Yvonne. Bye, everyone. See you later, Emma. Yvonne was looking very pleased. Jerry smiled back as they left, but he was anything but pleased. Was there a way out? Sudden bout of sickness? Broken leg? No, Yvonne would probably come around to look after Emma. Oh well, one night, I can do one night. I've done okay so far today, he convinced himself. His mother squeezed his hand and smiled at him. He knew this situation wasn't her fault and that she felt bad about the fix he was in. They couldn't talk until Rosemary had gone. Jerry was pleasantly surprised when Rosemary arranged to meet them later in Starbucks in the mall. He needed a break with his mom. They set off in their cars and reached the shopping center 10 minutes later. Our day's gone a bit pear-shaped, love. Yes, Mom. Not quite what either of us planned. I can try to get us out of this. I honestly think the easiest route is to go along with what's been agreed. Any change will just make things messy. Now, what do girls do on a girly night in? Mom smiled. It's a long time ago for me, but I remember your sister having friends round, sloppy film, chocolate, dressing up, chocolate, makeup, discussing boys, more chocolate. Get the idea? Be still, my beating heart, I can hardly wait. I always preferred a slasher movie and a bottle, or 3, of wine. We don't know the family, so we'll play safe. Chachi's, flowers for her mom, I'm sure she'll provide the rest. Probably just wants to chat. She's not got a boyfriend, her parents insist she studies. I said you were just as repressive. Jerry smiled at his mom. Thanks very much, so I'm an ogre, am I? Mom exclaimed in mock distress. Yes, quite awful, I'm afraid. To be honest, I was making things up as I went along, but not having a boyfriend was more convenient. What do I know about boys? Looking like you do, I can understand that. Thanks, I feel so much better. Now, Emma, to more serious matters. We need to get you ready for tonight. It's not really fair to use your sister's things, and those shoes must be pinching a bit now, so we'll get a few things before Rosemary comes back. Shoes first, I think. She was right. Jerry was starting to feel his toes pinching in. Mom had managed to park quite close to the entrance, so they only had a short walk to get into the shops. Jerry had only been here once, so they picked up a guide each just in case they became separated. Not likely, thought Jerry, although he did agree a rendezvous. Mom was very thorough about these things. The guide showed shops by type, so they headed for a chain his mom thought would be suitable. Fortunately, it was a sort-yourself-out warehouse-type shop, so Emma didn't have to deal with the shoe fitters. Let's try these boots. I still think that dress would look well with a pair. But Mom, do we need to waste so much money on something to be used once? Women do that all the time. You'll learn when you're married. Okay, let's get to it. I'm in your hands. His mom selected a pair of black knee-length boots. He tried a few but settled on a pair with a 3-inch heel. Fortunately, the boot gave him the support to be able to walk easily, and he felt very comfortable. Another sensation to add to his list for today. I think a pair of slippers as well. It's not fair to wear boots in her house, is it? No, Mom. So a pair of sheepskin moccasins were added to the basket. You get another pair of shoes free if you're already buying two, madam. The bored checkout girl woke from her slumbers. Oh, thank you, dear. A bargain, music to mother's ears. So Emma added a pair of strappy sandals to her collection, again with a 3-inch heel. Not so easy to walk in due to less support. You'll need to practice in those, said Mother. When and for what, thought Jerry. She'll wear the boots now. Mom paid the bill and Jerry walked out feeling much more comfortable and 1 inch taller. Next they went into Man's. We'll get you some knickers and a bra. I think that one you have on is a little tight. Let's go into the changing rooms so I can check the label. Mom. Auntie Mary, remember, now come on, there's nothing to fear. Not for you. Or for you, would you rather I looked out here? Come on. He followed his mum into a cubicle past girls and ladies in various states of undress. They closed the door and she had him slip off the dress. A quick check on the label showed 32C. Wait here, I'll be back in a moment. She was gone before he could protest. Now this was surreal, on his own, standing in female underwear in the middle of a shop, plenty of people nearby. She returned quickly with a couple of bra and panty sets, 34C and 36C, in a very similar style to that he was already wearing. The 36 was very comfortable and he would have preferred to have worn it straight away, but the clothes had security tags on. Mom helped him back into the dress and they left the changing room. As they did, she left the bras that didn't fit with the assistant. Jerry noticed she had more than one pair left in the basket along with several pairs of tights and panties, but decided to say nothing. She's probably getting some for herself, he thought. I've decided that you shouldn't wear that dress tonight. It would be rude not to have made an effort, so we'll have a look at the dresses, maybe a smart skirt and blouse instead. So why did we buy the boots? Because I hadn't decided then. No questions, come along. Yes, Auntie. His mom stuck her tongue out at him and he smiled. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Yes, Emma, I am. Your sis, sorry cousin, has been away for such a long time and I've missed girly shopping. Enjoy then, glad to make you happy. Thanks, I'll try not to get too carried away. I think a nice denim skirt with a pattern would suit you, perhaps with a really soft cashmere sweater, Emma ended up with a selection of skirts, tops, belts and other accessories. Maybe we should get some jeans just in case. In case of what? I've already got jeans. Ah yes, but they're boy cut, aren't they? Yes, Auntie. So Emma got to try on some really soft and stretchy girls' jeans, worn over her tights. This was another new sensation. They found a fit and these were added to the basket. I think that'll do for now. We have arranged to meet Rosemary in the coffee shop in a few minutes. We'll pay for this lot and then put them in the car and come back to meet her. Fine. They did as Mom said and met Rosemary at Starbucks. She insisted on paying. Jerry got the impression she was a little lonely and was enjoying the company. As they were leaving, Jerry's mom noticed one of his earrings had gone missing. Have you lost one of your clip-ons, Emma? Jerry looked at her puzzled, clip-on what he thought. Then he saw her touching her earlobe and he realized. I knew we should have got them pierced. She smiled, winding him up. I'm sorry, Auntie, I didn't realize it had gone. No matter, they aren't an expensive pair. Slip the other one off, dear. Rosemary and his mum then led on through the center. Jerry had had enough of shopping but realized that the shops he was attracted to, like Game and HMV, wouldn't be on the older lady's itinerary. After a while, Rosemary stopped and spoke to Emma. I do think we're boring you, dear, but I have an idea. Come with me. Jerry looked at his mum, but she gave an I don't know what look in return. Rosemary led him into a nail bar they happened to be passing. She had a quick word with the assistant and then beckoned Jerry to sit down. I've arranged for you to have a manicure, dear. It'll give you a break from us oldies. Just sit back, Julie here will look after you. Julie was already putting a cape over his shoulders as he tried to escape. You are too kind, Rosemary, but I can't accept this. Nonsense, dear, I'm having fun. You've been a beautifully charming companion today, and this is my treat, and thank you to you. Jerry was already in the cape and sat in the chair. Further resistance was futile. Julie smiled and said, Hello, Emma, come on, enjoy it. I think your nails will look lovely when I've finished. Emma smiled weakly in response. Jerry didn't notice Rosemary whispering instructions to Julie as she and his mother left the shop. We'll be back for you in 40 minutes, she called. Julie asked for Emma's lipstick so she could match the color, then set to filing and trimming her nails. There was a lot of noise in the salon with their sound system pumping out the latest hits, and Jerry was relaxing and didn't notice the other girl approach from behind. This is Sue, don't worry, there'll just be a little sting. The piercing gun had fired twice in his right ear before he realized what was happening. Your auntie's friend got you these as a treat. Jerry was too stunned to resist, and Sue completed his other ear. I've just put simple gold rings in for now, you can choose your own style later. Thanks, Jerry squeaked a response as Sue helpfully held a mirror so he could see his new additions. After 2 coats of color and a clear coating, Emma's hands were in a little drying device and she was stuck. Do you fancy a nose stud or eyebrow ring? We've got a discount today. No thank you, the ears were enough of a surprise. Jerry had gone far further than he ever envisaged. Sweet, I can see you've never had them done before. We have a little time. Do you mind if Sue freshens up your makeup? It'll be free as she training, but don't worry, she's very good. Whatever. Jerry had gone beyond being bothered now. Sorry? Julie looked puzzled. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. Yes, thanks, that would be lovely. Great, Sue, can you do Emma now? And so Emma got another makeover. Sue cleansed and toned her skin, then asked if she was going out and gave her a slightly more dramatic look with a bit more color and shimmering powder on her eyelids than before. I hope you'll be pleased. I've made up a pack of the cosmetics I've used today, and can I have feedback for my NVQ? Also, Julie has to check my work as well. She turned the chair to the mirror for Emma to appreciate her work. Jerry knew it would probably be a different look, but seeing the girl's face with the professional makeup rounded off by the beringed ears was still a surprise. Sue had really enhanced his features. Mom was in for a shock. You like? Sue was concerned by Emma's silence. That shook Jerry out of his shock. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you've done a fantastic job. I was just taking in the new look. Sue smiled and handed over the review form as Julie checked her work. Jerry finished the form and took his wallet from his purse as he returned it to Sue. The bill is covered, don't worry, she said. Jerry handed her a £5 note. I know, this is from me between you, thanks for your assistance. Thanks, Emma, have a good night. You too. Mom and Rosemary had not returned, and rather than sit in the salon, he decided to browse around. He sent his mom a quick text to tell her what he was doing. The center had started to empty as it got later, and some shops were starting to close. He did get a kick out of seeing his reflection in shop windows. Was he enjoying this? Yes. He didn't feel particularly comfortable about that, but hey, his mom wasn't bothered, and nobody else appeared to have spotted him, so why not enjoy the experience? It may never happen again, although he doubted that, as he was sure he had unleashed a monster with the shopping his mother had done. As he browsed a few trinket and gift shops, he began to learn the differences between girls and boys. Other girls made eye contact and smiled, guys scanned the whole person, concentrating on legs and boobs. Doors were held open, men moved out of the way in crowds. This was quite nice, but there was also the fear of discovery, the fear of humiliation, of being a fraud. The secret seemed to be confidence. hold your head high and have total belief in yourself. The clothes and makeup had been done so well he felt safe in the illusion. His phone signaled a text and his mother had replied saying, "Got your message. Meet us under the clock in the central concourse at 1700 hours. Not far to go, he thought. There was a commotion ahead. He thought it was just crowds of people, but suddenly a youth burst from the crowd with a purse in his hand. There were people shouting, "Stop him, he snatched the bag." The man snarled at Emma, assuming she would get out of the way. Unfortunately for him, a combination of shock and autopilot made Jerry pick up a chair and swing it at the robber's legs. He went face down in agony, one of his ankles probably broken. Jerry placed his knee on the robber's neck and whispered to him, "Try to move and I will hurt you." He just cried and lay still. 2 center security staff were there in moments. "Thanks, miss, that was a cracking maneuver." "My pleasure. Can you manage?" "No problem, I'd appreciate it if you could take the bag back to the pensioner back there." "It's on my way, give the swine a good kicking." Emma smiled and picked up the bag which had slid further on. "Thanks, Mississippi." "Oh, miss, what's your name?" But Jerry had moved quickly and was soon in the crowd. He found the lady and, deciding to remain anonymous, returned the bag. "Here you are, love, the security men sent this back for you." "Oh, thank you, dear, tell them they're very kind." Emma smiled. "I will, lovey." "Are you all right?" "Just a little shaken, dear." "I'll be fine." Jerry hurried away. He could see his mother with Rosemary in the distance. His mother's face was a picture as she noticed the changes, but he didn't give her time to say anything. "Rosemary, thank you so much for the makeover. I think I got more than you paid for." "I can see that, dear. The look suits you well." Rosemary smiled and drew back Emma's hair to see the newly pierced lobes. "What do you think, Mary?" They are very lovely, and your nails and the makeup as well." "Do you like it?" "Yes, it's not something I had planned to do, but thank you again, Rosemary." "My pleasure, dear." "What was all the commotion behind you?" "Oh, there had been a robbery, but it's okay, they caught him." Jerry was pleased when his mother took his arm. "We have to be going now, dear. Yvonne's mother has called and she is going as well. We have to get home and get ready." "Well, I do. You are looking good already." "Because of the time, they'll have a light meal ready for us." "Goodbye, Rosemary. Thanks for your company and generosity. I'm afraid we must rush away now." "Enjoy your evening, and bring this delightful young lady to see me again." "Bye, and thanks again, Rosemary." Jerry was glad to get away. How would they have explained who the heroine really was? What he didn't realize was that everything had been captured on CCTV, including the registration of his mother's car as they drove away. "Well then, my beautiful niece. What a day!" "Thanks, Auntie Dot." "Seriously, how are you?" "The earrings must have been a surprise." "Yes, and they sting a bit." "It's odd. I've been compromised into being a girl further and further as the day has gone on, but I'm not cross or angry. I would never have gone this far and probably wouldn't have even started if I'd known what would happen, but I feel good. If I can get away with tonight, then get back to normal tomorrow, I'll be okay." "Does that mean my niece is not going to visit again?" "No, I don't mean that. I think that I don't mind playing dress up with you. In fact, it's fun, but I'd like to keep away from anyone else. It's too stressful." "I understand, thank you. I would love to see Emma every now and again." "I'd like that too, Mom." Jerry smiled and relaxed back into the seat. When they got home, it was quite late and Jerry agreed that there wasn't time for him and his mother to change, so he settled for a quick wash and change into his new bra while she got changed. The new lingerie was a lot more comfortable and they patted it out carefully to be as realistic as possible. When Jerry came downstairs, he wasn't ready for his mum to spray him with perfume. What's that for? I'm going to see another girl. Another girl? Oh, you know what I mean. Of course, only teasing. Don't worry, it's expected that a girl should wear perfume. It's not as if you're after her, is it? Well, she's not bad looking, Jerry smiled. I think you'll have to control your hormones or you might give her a big surprise, Mom retorted. Come on now, it's time to go. Have you got the bag with the presents in and your new slippers? All present and correct. They programmed the car's sat-nav with Yvonne's address and set off. It wasn't an area either knew and they were glad of the system's assistance. As they arrived, Jerry's mother cautioned him, "Be very careful tonight, love. She's your age, she knows what a girl your age knows. Remember your posture and think girl all night, if you do that it should pass easily. If you have a problem you've got money for a taxi and my phone is on." Okay, Mom, enjoy your play. They pulled up outside the house and with a final smile to each other Jerry knocked on the door. He wasn't surprised to have it opened instantly by Yvonne. Come in, great to see you again, Emma. Mom's nearly ready. Mary, please come through to the lounge and have a seat, Auntie Sarah is here already. Thank you, Yvonne, we do have to set off soon though. I understand, I presume there's not enough time for a drink? I'm afraid not, you girls sort yourselves out though. Good evening, Sarah. Yvonne, I've brought these for your mom, perhaps you can put them in water. Emma handed the flowers to Yvonne. And these are for you. The box of Thornton's Continental Chalks were a success from the look on Yvonne's face. How lovely! You shouldn't have, but thanks anyway. A few moments later Yvonne's mom came in. Good evening, Mary, I'm Jane, Yvonne's mom. I do apologize for not being down to greet you, and this must be Emma, Yvonne hasn't stopped talking about meeting you. Emma blushed. I think we would be as well to get going if that's okay. Mary wanted to get parked easily. The older ladies gathered their belongings and set off. Have a good evening, girls, called Yvonne's mom as they left. Well, it's just us now, fancy a drink? White wine, okay? Yes, lovely. Jerry wasn't really a wine fan, but it seemed a suitable drink to accept. Yvonne brought a bottle and glasses from the kitchen. Open those lovely-looking tchotchkes and let's get comfy. Jerry was a bit unnerved as Yvonne joined him on the settee and sat so close their thighs were touching. What else is in your bag? She said as she poured the drinks. I do apologize, Mom suggested I bring some slippers rather than wearing my boots all night. I'll just slip them on. This gave Jerry the excuse to move away from Yvonne. The boots look new, did you get them this afternoon? Yes, I got a few new things. I can see that, I don't remember the earrings from lunchtime. Yes, they're new, a present from Rosemary. I think she enjoyed our company. Very generous, I must go shopping with her sometime. Put the boots in the bag and I'll leave it by the front door for you. Yvonne took the bag and Emma settled down taking a few sips of wine for courage. Yvonne returned and sat down right next to Emma. Now I want to know all about you, Emma. You can't believe what it's like here, I never get any company as Mom and Dad are so strict. I know they want the best for me but it's really boring. Haven't you finished your exams like me? Oh yes, A-levels are finished but they're well ahead of that, a good result is taken for granted. I'm expected to study towards the medical course I've an offer for. I'll have to be careful here, thought Jerry, base things on enough truth not to get in a tangle but remember how you really are. Wow, that's a bit heavy. I have the weight of expectation but they're not pushing me through the summer. As you can see I got to visit Auntie Mary. Yes, lucky you. So did you get tonight off or will you be studying at midnight after I've gone? Emma smiled at Yvonne. Funny. Maybe I've overstressed the study. I do get time off, and of course you met me at the hall. How about you? Of course, all work and no play, etc. I have got a delivery job in a parcel office. Jerry decided to base his reply on the firm he worked for. I drive their van. That sounds interesting. It's a job, I don't need to think too much, which suits me after exams. More wine flowed, more chocolates were eaten, and before they knew it, an hour had gone. Would you like to see around the house? Jerry was more relaxed now. Yes, that would be nice. I liked the architecture when we drove up. I love these houses with high ceilings and lots of space. After the ground floor with its grand dining room and large kitchen, the staircase was very impressive, leading to a balconied landing, and they wandered from room to room, finally arriving at Yvonne's room. The room was very girly, all pinks and lace. The bed was at least a double, if not bigger. There was a TV, settee, and appropriate period furniture. Yvonne sat on the bed and beckoned Emma to sit with her. Jerry had been uneasy when Yvonne sat close in the living room, so he left some space between them. That didn't work, as Yvonne immediately shuffled across to be beside him. You seem a little uncomfortable, Emma. Is anything wrong? No, not really. You're just a little close, that's all. I hardly know you after all. Don't you like me? Of course I like you. I wouldn't have come here otherwise. I got the feeling it was more than like. Jerry was a bit anxious now. Yvonne, you are a very pretty girl, and I am enjoying your company. I saw how you looked at me at the hall before we were introduced. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be. What is your real name, Emma? Emma, I'm Emma. What do you mean? Jerry hung his head. He was found out. I've had my hand on your breast while we've been speaking, and I pinched hard. You didn't even flinch. I know you are a boy. A beautiful boy. You really look like a girl, I'll grant you, but there's more to it than that, even with the effort you've gone to. Jerry sat, still tears formed in his eyes as he turned away from Yvonne. Jerry, my name is Jerry. I'm sorry. Things got a bit out of hand. I never intended to deceive you. You are right, I thought you were beautiful the moment I saw you, but I never intended this to happen. Don't cry, you'll spoil your makeup. Yvonne dabbed his eyes with a tissue. I should leave. I'm sorry again. Don't be silly, sit down. I was sure you weren't a girl before I invited you. I'm impressed by the lengths you've gone to, and... But that's just it, I didn't do this intentionally, it just sort of. Yvonne put her arm around him in comfort. Calm down, now tell me what happened. Jerry recounted the tale of his transformation and the twists and turns of the day. Well, that's a tale and a half. You must have been on edge all day. It's been very stressful. When did you know? I was fairly sure at the hall. At first I thought you were a lesbian the way you checked me out, but when I looked closer, physically your Adam's apple and large hands were a clue, but you just didn't behave quite right for a girl our age. All that said, I was only 100% sure just now. So what do we do now? I'm Jerry, the weird boy in a dress. While you're dressed and looking like that, you are Emma. What shall we do? I'll do what I've been waiting for all night. She guided the pretty boy to lie down on the bed, straddled, and then kissed him.